Good evening, Mrs. Sherry.
Good evening. My name is Judy Sherry. I live at 725 Governor Circle, Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. Although the topic I would like to address tonight is the recent cancellation of the Radnor High School musical, there is a much broader question I'm asking board members, and that is, if students are asked to follow and are held accountable to the honor code, shouldn't these same standards of truthfulness and accountability apply to teachers and administrators? A brief history. The senior musical is a long tradition in Radnor. For over 10 years, it was written in a creative writing class and then produced and directed by a teacher. Typically contained what some may consider to be politically incorrect humor. The show provided an opportunity for seniors to stay engaged at the high school after they had been accepted in colleges and allowed them a last high school opportunity to showcase their talents like comedy, acting, singing, dancing, etc. The teacher with the long-standing connection to the school left last year, and 2 new teachers and students wrote and directed this year's production. Mark Skellinger, the Radnor High School principal, was given the script in advance and approved it. According to a parent, the show was no more inappropriate than past years' performances. The musical was supervised by a Radnor teacher, and the opening night performance was identical to 4 prior dress rehearsals. Mr. Skellinger did not attend any of these rehearsals, nor did he attend the opening night's performance. The superintendent, Dr. Linda Grobman, and a school board member, Chuck Madden, attended the school's only performance. The next day, the principal, Mr. Skellinger, met with the teacher and the students and reportedly stated that the superintendent objected to 5 specific items. Most of these items were in the approved script and all were apparent in the rehearsals. He told them that the show had been canceled because of complaints by parents and members of the school board. When the students offered to revise the show, Mr. Skellinger said at that time that he couldn't trust them to stay on script. This accusation that the students were untrustworthy was insulting to both students and their parents. The students did revise the script on Thursday night, deleting offensive items, and filmed the revised show to convince the principal to reconsider. However, Mr. Skellinger refused to rescind his decision because he now claimed a non-Radnor student had contacted the media. So, the show was canceled because of the so-called inappropriate items that were in the principal's approved script and all the dress rehearsals, and even when the students did their best to correct the offending parts, their efforts were denied. But the story doesn't end here. Following this, the students were again blamed by the Radnor School District's spokesperson in a Philadelphia Inquirer article that stated the show had been canceled because the students irresponsibly ad-libbed and that none of the inappropriate material was scripted. The district magnanimously stated in that article that it was not taking further action against the students. This infuriated students and parents. There have since been other reasons given for canceling the show, including the fact that the performance standards were below par and that there were just too many other activities left in the year to squeeze in another performance. The principal and superintendent later apologized when they met with the students, not for approving the script in the first place, not for a failure to attend rehearsals, not for misleading the press, and not for multiple excuses as to why the show couldn't run. Instead, the apology was given because the students' feelings were hurt. As a parent said, this is like punching someone in the nose and saying you're sorry that their nose hurts. An honor code was implemented at Radnor High School and adopted by the school board in 2007 because of an alleged student cheating scandal and the fact that an administrator allegedly changed report card grades without teacher approval. This honor code is posted online at the high school's website. It clearly states, We believe that honesty, integrity, respect, and responsibility must be present among students, teachers, administrators, and parents and guardians. Honesty means telling the truth. Responsibility is defined as be willing to own what you do and say, embrace and advance the common good of our community, have the courage to do what is right. Lying is making a statement one knows or reasonably should know is false, with the intent to deceive or with disregard for the truth, to give a false impression. Lies can be made verbally, in writing, or by gestures that are intended to convey a false impression or understanding. That's what the Honor Code states. Students shall not cheat, lie, or steal. They face strong consequences for offenses against the Academic Honor Code under Level 1, Level 2, Level 3 violations as spelled out in the student handbook. When the students were accused of cheating in 2007, the consequences were severe and ranged from suspension to losing an acceptance in an Ivy League college because the college was notified about the incident. This is a gut-wrenching consequence to a high school student and family. But what happens to administrators who are bound to the code but who have not followed it? There were virtually no consequences for the administrators accused of grade changing in 2007. In the case of the musical, the administrator approved the script and did not attend rehearsals or opening night. He appears to have misrepresented what happened and who was responsible. Was the show canceled because of criticisms by the superintendent, parents, and school board members? Was it the fault of the teachers for not supervising adequately? Was it canceled because the students ruined the show by ad-libbing? Who is accountable? Who will take responsibility? Are students the only ones to face consequences for not following the code? It's clear that a number of honor students honored their commitment to this show and did their best to perform under very difficult circumstances. Were they treated honorably? As it is written, the Honor Code applies to the administration. Since no one has followed the code and taken responsibility for what happened, how will the school board remedy this? Many of my comments tonight were based on conversations and emails I had with parents connected with the musical. If Mr. Skellinger wants to challenge or dispute any of my comments, I hope the board will allow him the courtesy. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Mrs. Sherry.